Feed the Sesk and he will score. Look, one of my previous videos, I know I said that I don't want us to sign Sesko, basically because I'd rather have a couple of positions, well, 3 positions I mentioned. I'd rather have a new goalkeeper. I'd rather have a new centre-back who can play wide left, well, not wide left, but left side centre-back, right side centre-back, and defensive midfielder, instead of paying up to nearly £80 million for Sesko. But look, he's going to sign. I'm going to get fully behind him. However, there's a couple of things I don't agree about this, and there's a few things that I think, you know what, this could be really positive. I mean, look, if someone says, we're going to sign Sesko, do you want him for your club? Then yes, okay, let's have him. And we have to remember, football, just like many other industries, is very fickle. Look, I've worked in the industry. I've been a professional coach in professional environments, working with other coaches, working with players, working with staff, working with chairmen, owners, supporters, and it is fickle. Now, first of all, I just want to say, fully support him, happy he's on board, awesome, feed the Sesk. What I will say first, I'll start off with the positives. Now, the positives is, compared to Gyökeres, technically, I think he's better than Gyökeres. And I have a feeling that because we've got Cunha, because we've got Bruno, because we've got Mbumo, because we've got Dorgu and Ahmad, who are very capable at carrying the ball as well, like Sesko previously has done, as you'll see in some of the matches, a little bit similar to Gyökeres, he'll get the ball and he'll be dribbling, beating players, he'll be running the ball, carrying the ball, you know, from the halfway line or from within his own half, which is amazing. But now we already have the players what can do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to mould Sesko into a kind of more Haaland figure. Now, if you look at Haaland's stats and all his positionings and his heat maps, his evolution has now ended up with him being a more kind of box poacher, box goal scorer, where he really comes alive now in the penalty box and he stopped running around and chasing. Yes, he still has the ability to run in behind defenses, but predominantly he is that turning into a real number 9, that traditional number 9, that goal scorer, what is dangerous in the box. And I think Sesko, if we're switched on, will be looking to do the same, where he is keeping defenders busier, he is offering a different and diverse way of attacking. He is able to hold up play, turn if he needs to, or lay it off for more build-up play. He is able to run in behind the defence, and he is able to make himself busy in the box. If you do look at now people look at all the highlights of the goals, which is great. Any player looks amazing in highlights. But if you look back, let's say I reposted a video on my X account. From a certain date, his last 20 shots was a mixture of misses, shots on target, shots off target, penalties, and goals. Now, some of the missed opportunities were kind of Højlund-esque, and I'm not saying that to put Højlund down, but I'm saying the same opportunities what Højlund missed last year and he got smashed for, whereas Sesko's doing the same thing. Another thing, now I've started to hear a few people say, oh, he's coming in, you know, he's still a young lad, he's 22. Well, when Højlund first came, he was younger than 22. And the first season, Højlund got 10 goals in the Premier League. I think a lot of people forget that. And that isn't a massive return for your investment of, again, what was Højlund, £73 million or something like this. However, he was finding his feet and he scored 10 goals, which is great. He had some injuries, so he didn't really have proper pre-seasons. This is the first pre-season Højlund has had where he looks like raring to go. It hasn't been interrupted by injury. But now you see he's probably going to have to leave. And yes, last season, terrible season, he scored 4 goals in the Premier League or whatever it was. And you will say he was terrible, it was a disaster, but it wasn't the whole team. And when you're playing, when there's that much pressure on you and you're playing in a team what is falling without any sign of stopping, it's very hard. And he is a younger player in that position with all that pressure on him. Xerxes as well. They couldn't hold the brunt of the weight and the responsibility. Whereas a world-class striker, even Van Persie, Ibrahimovic, when they came in, you know, at later ages, they were still able to have that spotlight on them and save us a lot of points, win us a lot of matches as well. So that is the difference. So now I'm hearing people saying, oh, Sesko, give him time, it's a good investment. He's a young lad, he's 22. Well, he's older than Højlund was when Højlund came. And we're saying, oh, he's a good investment, it's one for the future. Yes, it is. But if we're spending nearly 80 million, don't we need something now? I don't want to wait, although it may take another 3 or 4 years to start getting back into Europe. We could possibly do it with signings if we get a goalkeeper and a defensive midfielder. I would like a defender, but goalkeeper and midfielder, 2 out of the 3, that would be okay. We could do it this season. Other fans will laugh at me, but really, if they click like that, it looks like they could do in pre-season, it could be a possibility. But the point I'm making here is I don't want to wait 4 or 5 years for Sesko to then become world class. He's spending 80 million. He should be in, hitting the ground running. Otherwise, why did we bring him in? And now Højlund's kind of finding his feet. Why don't we just stick with Højlund? That's the most frustrating thing for me. I welcome Sesko with open arms. Amazing that we got him. I mean, if we had the choice to have him and not, let's take him. But it just doesn't make sense to me. And it is very, very fickle how we're just discarding Højlund. And then basically we've gone back to the drawing board and giving Sesko all this time and everything. No, I'm sorry. We need him to hit the ground running. Now, Højlund got 10 goals in his first Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, which is good going. Okay. 15 to 18 would have been nice, but he got 10 goals. Now, if we expect him, like Gyökeres for Arsenal, but that's Arsenal's business, if we're expecting Sesko, and he might do, and if he does, because some strikers will go to a new club, might have been a machine of a goal scorer, and it might take him a while to get going. Even it took Drogba a while to get going when he went to Chelsea. Andy Cole, when he moved from Newcastle, okay, big money move. It can be a matter of months before they start finding a form, or some of them might have something bounce off the knee and go in. That's broken the duck. That's given them the confidence they need to then just continue scoring. But the longer it goes, the more that pressure builds, where everyone's anticipating and waiting for that first goal. If Sesko can get that first early goal, whether it's a penalty, whether it bounces off his ear or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the longer it goes without that, the more scrutiny there's going to be on the price tag, just like there has been with Højlund. Now, Sesko has, 13 goals and then 14 goals back-to-back in the Bundesliga. Okay, so he has got around about the same goal-scoring record there. It looks like he was doing a lot of the work, the groundwork, as in picking the ball up himself and creating his own chances. Looks like he can miss a few. I've seen a few where he's headed it. He's gone up for a header. He's 6'4", and he's headed it into the ground, which he meant to do as a striker. He meant to head it high. Strikers he meant to hit it low. But he was heading it as bouncing at his feet instead of bouncing before it goes into the net pass for goalkeeper. So, but technically he looks good. He looks like his movement's good with and without the ball. But I just think a lot of people gave Højlund a rough ride. A lot of players deserved a rough ride. And yes, with Højlund's price tag, he also needed to hit the ground running the first season, second season, and now this season, but he may not get the chance. Now, just finishing off with Højlund, I know this is about Sesko. I think if we do let Højlund go, I can just see him fitting right into Milan. And if it's on the loan, okay, if he can find his feet, Milan will want to buy him, but we can recall him. I hope we could then recall him as getting closer to a massive, massive top-class striker, bring him back. But, if the price is right, if he nets 20, 25 goals for Milan, they end up wanting to pay 50 million for him. United probably will sell him, and hopefully by then we should be happy with Sesko. We hope so. So that will give us a little bit of flexibility. I do hope Sesko is given the time. I do hope he finds his feet very, very quick. Fully support him. Certainly got talent, but we need that talent right now. And I'm sure that's why our gaffer gets paid the big dollars to organise our formation, our strategy, our playing style. I do hope that they don't have Sesko, Bruno, Cunha and Bumo all getting each other's way or trying to do the same thing. I hope we've got some diversity. I hope we can really keep the opposition defenders busy. I hope we can attack from deep. I hope we keep the quick tempo we've shown in pre-season. I hope we can counter-attack. But just one last thing with Sesko. I hope he can make a real problem when teams are defending in a deep block, or they've got a back five with 4 defenders into a 5-4-1 or a 5-5-0, which sometimes happens. And we're going to have to find a way through, which we can, especially with Cunha and the passes with Bruno as well. We've got Mbumo now who can run at players as well. And I just hope that Sesko is able to adapt and become useful when we do need to break down 2 low blocks, I would say 2 lines of defense, teams what aren't pushing us, teams what we can't counterattack, and we have to literally create our own fortune, create our own bit of skill, and create our own ability to create great goal scoring opportunities in the final third, in just around the box and inside the box as well. That might mean putting some more crosses in, and Sesko could be useful then. So big tick. Look, previous video I said I didn't want to sign him. I would have rather not. I would have rather got the 3 players that I said in that video, so I'm not backtracking. However, he's here now, and I support him, and I hope everyone can support him. I don't want him to be another Højlund. We should have supported Højlund more. A lot of people did. I hope he doesn't go. I'd love to have them both stay, but we have to balance the books some way. Okay, stay strong. Let's get the season started. It is close by. Love you.